Hello, everyone. As I look at you and you look at me, it reminds me of a song, but I won't sing it. Okay. I am Penny Douglas, and this is...
And I'm Gary Douglas.
And we have been doing some talks about marriage for a couple months now, and we are feeling like the Lord is leading us to share what we've learned. We've been married 29 years. We have 10 kids. I've homeschooled them, and our oldest is, hi, Kathy. Our oldest is 27. Our youngest is 9. We have 6 girls and 4 boys. And there's one of the girls. Hello, girl.
Hello.
That one is number, what are you, number 4? She's number 4. That is our Anna. And we got 9 more hidden in here somewhere. One's on the road. But anyway,
Yes.
I homeschooled all of them from the beginning to the end of the ones who have graduated. And I'm still homeschooling the youngest 4. And Gary works hard to keep us all going.
Crunch.
Keep the family afloat. Crunch. I have a cough drop because I was losing my voice right as we were getting started. Texas has been hard on us health-wise. We are from Ohio. We're not from here. And it's like our bodies have not adjusted to being here. Sandra, my cousin, thank you for coming on. I'm little Penny to her.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And Sandra, this is my husband, Gary. Thank you for joining us tonight. So we wanted to talk about marriage, and Gary has been really listening to a very wise man named Miles Monroe, who had a lot to say about male-female, just how we're made and how we come together in relationships and how it's supposed to work in a godly way. So I'm going to let you take it away, Gary.
You're going to join in every now and then.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Yes. Yes. First of all, a lot of the some of the misconceptions. If you're really going to start with these kind of things, I feel like we may have already addressed this, but just to bring it up again, the whole issue of Genesis, where it talks about how God made man. In the beginning, man was as God himself. If man wanted to produce life in himself, he could do so, just like what God could do. However, in his form, God was not finished with him yet. He knew in the physical form he needed to create to him and have a partner to create a helpmate. Interesting things that Miles Monroe brought up that I didn't think about. Some highlights on the naming things, which it's pretty interesting. I'll bring it up here. Kind of stumbling a little bit. The coffee's wearing off.
Where's your notes?
No, my notes.
Should
Should look at my notes. Yes. First of all, when it speaks of him taking a rib, it literally means in the Hebrew that God took half of everything out of him. It didn't literally mean he took a bone out of him. It literally meant that he took the wiring. He took that part of his thinking. It wasn't just physical, but it was physiological, I guess, or psychological, however that you want to see it. Literally took all that out of him. And when God presented her to him,
Eve.
If you read what it says, he said, this is bone of my bone, I believe, and flesh of my flesh. Mm-hmm. He said, and he named her. God didn't name her. He named this new creature, that which God made, which came literally right out of him. all half and everything. He called her. And the thing that Miles brings up is that God didn't tell him that he had to accept her, which God also did not speak and didn't give her a name, didn't title her, didn't do it himself. He let Adam, he let the man do that. And what's interesting is he says that whatever that you name, you have an authority. You have there's some sort of connection, and that was the reason. For one, God wanted him to make his choice, which is something interesting. A lot of people have wondered, which is a pretty common question. I mean, a lot of people don't have a problem. For example, when you crash a car, you go ahead and you buy another one. Until you crash about your third or fourth one, you don't wonder whether or not that you can't drive. But when it comes to that long-term relationship, issue of marriage, that's a whole different thing. And
hey,
so,
Vanessa, I should have my necklace on.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Vanessa. She says hi.
Hello. What's interesting is that if you take in, for example, a lot of the things where Jesus asked in the Gospels about those spirits, he asked what their names were prior to casting them out. How it works in the spirit realm, it's a principle.
Like Legion.
Yeah, like Legion.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the name of something, you can take authority over that. You can actually do something about it. But that's why demons are so slow about giving their names. For those of you may have known, those who have done any kind of
deliverance
issues of deliverance, or they have cast out anything in people out in the mission field, even here at home, especially now, the way that things are. It is imperative that you know the name. So,
hi, Vaughn. Hi, Angel.
Angel, they're all there. All your friends are there.
All my friends are coming.
Your friends are there.
All my friends are in my head.
As wild as that is. But if you
Facebook
remember, it was also Adam that went ahead and.
Oh, here comes the love.
Jesus. I see. I can see.
He won't let me have fun.
It's
I
all
tell
right.
you, I am funny, but
Yeah, all right.
to everybody except, never mind.
Yeah, I'll accept
We'll save that quarrel for later.
Yeah, you will. But anyway, not only did Adam name the new creature woman, which means literally out of my womb. Isn't that kind of peculiar? He also gave her a name. He also named her. There's a lot.
What would you have named me?
Yeah, okay.
Not funny.
Not funny. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
You never thought about that, did you?
You're just going to keep it rolling.
I'm sorry.
You're not going to
He
stop.
doesn't want to be funny, and I don't know. I'm just in a funny mood.
Go
Yvonne
figure.
says hello, and Vanessa says yes. She
Yes.
likes what you're saying. I don't know, maybe she thinks I'm funny.
Oh, wow. It's unfortunate. Everything's stopping on my phone.
Oh,
It's okay. It's just,
it's possessed.
it's possessed,
out
is what I
its
feel
name.
like saying.
Find out what is in there. Find
So
out its
Android is
name.
probably what it's called.
Android. Oh, well, there
There it goes.
that's no help.
But anyway, the significance of that.
Now we got some laughs.
Oh, there you go. The significance of that, besides, Android. Yeah, you're gonna run anything. This is a Galaxy Avant. You don't think that there's a hardware software shake, when they keep updating things? Let me tell you something. Yes, there is. And Apple's on that ship too. They got their own operating system, but I guarantee you that your iPhone 4 or whatever it is probably doesn't do as well as, what is it, the 8 they got out now, which I've heard some people say, the 10 is not worth the money. But anyway.
Oh, I think we're under
What?
the Wi-Fi. My face is like doing some glitchy things.
Is it? Oh, no.
Yeah. I winked at myself without really moving my eyelid.
Well, it may just be slow.
Oh, Vanessa was just thinking about the meaning of woman the other day.
Yeah, it literally means from out of my womb, because the way that God made man in the
Womb
beginning.
man.
See, we get these hang-ups for some reason with God where we think, oh, he's male, he's female. And it's like, well, there's a lot of reference where he calls it a him, a he. And it's like, well, yeah, but if you look at all those different terms of the names, he's got 365 names. You know, if anybody in India, you know, is wondering about, well, how many gods there are, and you can say, well, yeah, well, my God's got 365 names. You know, I don't need 365 gods. I got a father, I got a son, and I have a spirit. So
he has so many
I have his Holy
functions,
Spirit.
and there's so many things in our lives.
And a lot of those references are both masculine, and the other half is actually feminine. So, you know, and God is both. He's God. You know, you can't say, well, it's a he. No, well, it's a she. No, it ain't that either. You don't get it. He's God. He's a spirit. You know, the whole thing where they talk about in the gospel where they say there's no giving or taking in marriage. Remember the question that they posed to Jesus when they said, okay, this woman married her brother, or, you know, she married this man, and then he died, and then she married his brother. He died, and there was 7 others in heaven. Whose wife is she going to be? And he said, you are sadly mistaken. You don't get it. There is no marriage in heaven. It doesn't work that way there. You know, there's so much more to that.
Well, better get back to the man and woman thing.
The whole part, the way that God is set up, God not only has everything which governs things by laws and principles. If anybody has an issue with Scripture, with the Bible, if you know the Word intimately enough, if you've searched out some of those revelations, you'll find out that there are a lot of divine principles, universal laws that govern everything throughout the universe. If you remember in the gospel, I think it was chapter 6 in Matthew 33, he said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Man, I cannot believe I'm getting caught on this track. He keeps bringing me back to this. The issue of the kingdom is simply coming to know what are the laws and principles that govern the seen and the unseen. If you know this, then you have those keys that he says, whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. For example, which is for some of you men, I'm going to make this one clear to you. The wife is the gauge of the home. God has an order. When she takes your name, you are bound by covenant to defend, to protect, and to tend to her. I know some of the biggest issues now today, the financial, it's in a man that God has ingrained that has a whole lot to do with his own self-image, is his ability to tend to his own family. When that's kind of stolen away from him, that doesn't make him feel too good.
His identity is so wrapped up in he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, when his identity is too wrapped up with the financial, such as what our culture seems to have a habit of doing.
Hi, Jane.
Jane.
She's like one of our biggest fans. She's Marilee's mom.
Okay.
Maybe she's our one fan, but hi, Jane. It's good to have you.
But one of the most important factors too, though, in that relationship, if the man wants to see things blessed and see things really do well, one of the primary is that you're high priest. One of the biggest parts of marriage that I'll add to, I'm sorry for putting so much into this, but the culmination is just unbelievable, the revelation. God's purpose and plan of marriage, understand that the Lord is into a kingdom. He keeps referencing kingdom. Mm-hmm. That is not, that is no way a democracy. Right. It doesn't work that way in God's kingdom, which is why he calls it the kingdom. How God's hierarchy, his governance works. they're sorry. I mean, you can have a board of directors in the church and all that goes with it, but God does not run things in how that we would perceive things as far as,
the earthly kingdoms.
Yeah, earthly kingdoms.
And
It doesn't work that way at all. That's why he says to seek it first. Because if you do, you're going to come to know some truths. For example, like I mentioned earlier, that if you can name something, you can have authority over that.
Civic government and spiritual government are two different things. And our kingdom that we really belong to is different from this earthly realm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The kingdoms of this world have become the kingdom of our Christ.
Yes.
Kingdoms of our
Big
Christ
time.
and of his.
If you understand these principles, like for example, like I said about the naming of things, you can have authority over them. That's why, like I said, demons don't like giving out their names, and it's simply because once you have their name, you have authority over them. That's why Jesus asked what their names were. Also along that line, as I was getting into the issues of marriage, God's plan, the kingdom plan for the marriage, and you can look this up for yourself. And I encourage you to do so, to search it out, to search these mysteries out. One of God's fundamental purposes for marriage is to expand the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So, involving the issues of institutionalism, it is not the responsibility of any external organization to teach and train your children. It's good to have other people speak to them and say the same things you believe. That's wonderful. Hey, Sunday school, I learned an awful lot in it. I think it's great. But God's design is that the mother and father, specifically the father, is supposed to instruct their children.
Yes.
If you remember, he called Abraham his friend.
Friend of God.
Friend of God. The reason why he did so, if you've ever wondered why, look what it says that he had done on a daily basis. He instructed his children. He instructed his servants. He spoke to them about the Lord
of God
all the time. He spoke about those issues, of which now we understand are the laws and principles of the kingdom. A lot of those things in the New Testament where they say the laws and those things were done away with, actually,
that's why God chose him and called him to be the father of nations.
Yes,
because
exactly.
he knew he would instruct his children in righteousness.
Yes, and I mean, it's all tied together. You can search this up if you want to.
And then in Deuteronomy 6, he tells the fathers
Yes.
to
Exactly.
teach them along the way when they rise up and when they go along the way and when they go to bed at night.
Oh my gosh,
when they're eating together and just talking in the middle of the day.
Yes.
Teach your children.
Amen.
The way they should go.
If you remember in the Minor Prophets, it's also written, and it states and it says that, if that he keeps a book of remembrance written for those that speak of him and speak about him, that there's a book of remembrance that are written. So it is imperative. It's important to him. Otherwise, why would he keep a book? Why would he even mention that?
Yeah.
Along those same lines, specifically getting back to the gentleman, the gauge of the house is the wife. If she's not at peace, if she's not content, then things aren't going to be blessed. And I know we can think and we can say, well, I see the numbers or I see what resources we have and it doesn't add up. Well, how it usually works with the Lord anyways is that he says there's time and seasons for all things. There's a time where you'll have things that are in plenty and there's a time where you have things that'll be scarce. There's appointed times for all things, just like the pruning of fruit trees. Just like there is at certain times where the crops aren't grown to allow the land itself to replenish. There's times and seasons marked for all things. But one thing he makes sure is that he declares that our household is to be blessed. He says, if you obey me, you'll eat good of the land. If you obey and serve me, you'll spend your days in prosperity and your years in pleasure. One of those principles that are tied into it, one of the laws, I should say, that is tied into it, is that your wife needs to be at peace. You are recognized by the Father as a high priest of your home. It is imperative as far as the issues of prayer, as far as what is being recognized, the things of God, that you are his mouthpiece to your family. And along with that, Ed, along with that is what I was saying too. Your wife needs to be at peace about things. It's imperative that you are aware of how that she feels.
Can I tell my little story?
Go ahead and tell your story.
Yeah. He had a mentor. We had mentors from Nigeria and Africa. They came to America as missionaries to really the Christian church in America.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a really deeper understanding of the Bible, really, because of having a more Eastern mindset and closer to the Hebrew mindset than our Greek mindset that we have grown up with. And so they were teaching Gary specifically and especially. He had more time. I had 6 children. We had 6 children at the time that I was taking care of, and he had been laid off. And so Anthony was mentoring him, and he was telling Gary these kinds of things about how the woman and her countenance shows how her husband is treating her and what he's doing and the state of her soul. And so Gary was learning these things from Anthony, and Anthony would call like every day and check on how things were going. And the first thing that would come out of his mouth was, "How is your wife?" And Gary would come looking for me. "How are you doing?" He'd be all worried. "How are you doing?" I'd be like, at first I didn't know what was going on. I was like, "I'm fine." What? Why? I'm okay. And then I finally figured out, and I was like, "Well, I'm a little tired." And Gary started figuring out that there were a lot of things. I was taking on everything. I thought I had to be Superwoman and had to just do everything myself. And I would never ask anybody for help. And all the kids were little, and they really couldn't do that much. Morgan was a baby, and he's our number 6. And the others, so Sean and Morgan are like exactly 10 years apart. So Sean, our oldest, was about 10. Yeah. He could have done more than we had him doing, but we didn't really understand that at the time. We were still kind of new parents, and it took us a while to catch on. Hi, Allie. Allie has 11 kids.
Wow, she knows.
She knows exactly what we're talking about.
What we're dealing with.
So I had 6 children that I didn't really have helping me at all, and I was running myself ragged, and I still tried to do other things outside of that too. I tutored other people and homeschooled other people's kids, homeschooled my kids, and I don't know what I was trying to prove. But when Anthony kept drawing Gary's attention to me, and Gary had been home for a while then because he'd been laid off for a while, he started to notice that I was trying to do too much. Hi, Elizabeth. So it was getting through to him that I needed his help. And so we started working together more. He started doing a lot more to help out. But it took that, "How is your wife?" Yeah.
They wouldn't flat out ask me, how is things set up in your home, and what are the responsibilities, as you would think of some intellectual that would go ahead and pick things apart and ask those questions. They didn't ask those things. What they did is they just simply said, "How's she feeling? How's she doing?" And by doing so,
Lucero's here. Salisbury.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us, Lucero. Stay with us. This is fun. Brandy. Hi, Brandy. Thanks for coming on. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm done greeting.
Yeah. Kua, he never asked, either did Gold, his wife, what the specifics were about how things were done in the home or anything. But they would just ask, "Okay, how's she doing? How's she doing?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. Are they hinting at something?" because they would ask the same thing every day. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me.
His name is Gary, Brandy. I got to get this right. He's Gary and I'm Penny. I get that confused.
Yeah.
Because it's the camera's fault.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay, that'll work.
She said hi, Penny, and Mr.
Mister, that'll work.
Mr.
Mister, yeah. You're old
Thank
enough.
you, Lucero. She said great teaching, guys.
But like I was saying though,
It's really good
cool
to see you,
after
Lucero.
challenging me, actually got me to open up some things and started taking over things. I started helping. Yeah, look at that. That ain't working, is it?
Slow motion.
You're going to be identified now. The FBI knows where you are. You're so busted. Might as well change your name and get a new passport. Anyhow, boy, we could actually have commercials and stuff in between. But anyway, as I was saying, after seeing out what was wrong, I went ahead and started helping out and taking care of some things. And Sean, all of a sudden, I mean, here's this kid. He takes off with AppleWorks and works with a spreadsheet where it altered and changed everybody's name around. So each one had like a little chore to do, which alleviated things so much. She was able to get school homeschooling done in no time. All kinds of things got finished. I actually discovered I could cook. You
knew you could cook all along. You were always telling me from the time we first got married, you were like, I can cook. I'm a good cook. And I was like, I wish you would show me this.
Yeah, I cooked all right. I cooked at home, and I only did that because I got to eat more. That's the only reason why I took that course.
Yeah, single living in high school.
Yeah, I was single living. I don't know what the heck it was. I didn't care.
You just knew there was food.
There's more food, yeah. Because I knew those other girls were eating all those cakes and other things.
Do laundry. It was like, I don't know how to do any of that, and I was just like, okay, and I just kept doing everything, but he figured out.
Picked it out, just learn.
Yeah.
Just pick it up and learn. But it's cool that once that's taken care of, I don't care how little you got. I mean, we were in the first year. Afterwards, we didn't have nothing coming in. There was no other income. What income I had on where I was laid off, the severance pay, it was already gone. We didn't have anything. So we had to trust the Lord for things and step all that more into faith, which was almost insane. However, God made things work. He did all kinds of amazing things where, I mean, the miracles and wonders. And it really didn't happen until not just a matter of prayer, not just a matter of fasting, not just a matter of speaking the word, but also obeying another principle, or I should say law, and that was that the wife of the home has to be at peace. She is the gauge of the home. If she's not at peace, I don't care what you do. I don't care how much you have or how little you have, how much you pray, fast, and all that goes with it. You're shooting yourself in the foot, because even in the scripture, which I wish I could just pulled it up, but it says, to be at peace with your wife. Lest your prayer be hindered. Right. You look up the word hindered.
You want your prayers to be answered. Yeah. You make sure your wife is taken care of. I like that.
Yeah.
It's 1 Peter 3:7 or 7:3.
7:3.
3:7.
3:7 probably.
3:7.
Or 3:7.
Because there's not many chapters.
No, it's
1 Peter.
Very limited book. Yeah, he was too busy. He's too busy to write, maybe, I guess. I don't know, but anyway.
I hope Anna's not leaving.
My bet is she. I don't know.
I think she'll be back.
Anyway, once you get that together, then God blesses your home. I never, even with when I was working, I could never take my family on vacation anywhere. I want to tell the story again. Okay. I could never get anybody anywhere. No, we would take little short breaks, but we could never really go anywhere.
No, it would just be us, and we'd leave the kids with the babysitter. Yeah, we'd leave the kids because we couldn't afford anything like that.
No, it just seemed like there was always something that had to be repaired or replaced. But that year, here I was.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, here it was that year. I wasn't getting any money in at all, and someone offered us to stay as long as we wanted in a house. In a summer house down in Ormond Beach. Now, Ormond Beach,
Florida.
Yeah, now Ormond Beach is not like Cocoa Beach or any of the rest of them, which is about as.
Because I had helped her start a daycare center, and she considered me like family, and so she said, "You guys could go there and use the house." And I was just like, why is she telling me this? We never go anywhere.
No, and it was years later. I mean, this is years and years.
Yeah.
For her to
I
all of a
hadn't
sudden,
worked at the daycare
for all of a
center in
sudden, her
long
just to magically remember, hey, you know, I got a summer house and there's nobody down there, and
all it would cost you is you just buy your own groceries
you buy your own
there,
groceries
and it just costs the gas to get down there and a couple of hotel stays on the way on the way down, one on the way back, because we lived in Ohio.
Yeah.
So we both just thought.
Yeah, you might as well have
crazy.
a condo in Barbados and we'll swim over there.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get a life raft.
That just wasn't in our
that wasn't
our radar at all, because we didn't do anything like that. We never took the kids on a big vacation or
nothing
anything
like that. Yeah.
No.
But here was an opportunity, and financially, and I'm talking the whole setup, God just made it work. And I attribute that to what the Akuas were doing, teaching us, saying, okay, this is God's order. This is how he has things set up. If she's all right, it doesn't matter what you have, what you don't have. God will make it work.
I gotta read what Lucero said.
Lucero.
So yeah, that's right. Wife needs to be happy. Howard T. Salisbury.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, Jen.
Make sure he listens to this.
Yeah, I know. Oh God.
Right around the corner from Daytona, but a totally different beach. Yeah. We saw little postcards for Daytona, but we were at Ormond Beach.
Or we were at the reason.
Lord.
Because all the rest of them, I mean, now they become so immoral, and you know, it's like how
like that,
what you can get away with not wearing.
Yeah.
I mean, not for
Brandy. You live in Florida, Brandy? Is that where you live?
So where
I think she does.
Yeah, it's
we'll just keep talking.
Okay. Ormond is actually, I mean, very family friendly. They don't put up with much. You show up with a
I hope they're still the same. That was a long time ago.
That was
Morgan was a baby and he's 17 now.
Yeah, imagine that. But
Morgan was a little nursing baby, just being tossed by the waves, and he loved it. And he kept running to the ocean, trying to kill himself. I spent the whole time running after Morgan, rescuing him from the waves.
Yeah, I kept the others from being
but it was fun.
Carried up the coast. The current would carry them further.
Take everybody down. Gary would go fetch them back.
That was interesting, but it was all still cool.
Yep, she's born and raised in Florida.
Oh wow. Yeah, you have those housekeepers. Does anybody know what housekeepers are?
She says Daytona is a mess.
Oh wow, man. Yeah, it's a mess all over in the States right now. The past 8 years, our country has been through. I mean, I'm serious, guys. They have not reported half the stuff that's going on, and there's a reason. But
go back to housekeepers.
Anyway, no, we'll leave it.
Go back to marriage. Okay, we're back to marriage again.
If you want things to be blessed, in the times where you may find there's not a lot of work, especially right now, or things are lesser than usual.
Angel says, I'll say it. It's a mess. It's all in caps.
Oh, wow.
The country.
Yeah,
the country. Definitely. Yeah.
One of the biggest things, if you find yourself cut back from everything that you were doing, I don't care if it's ministry, I don't care if it's your job or whatever, God may be turning you to focus on your family. The biggest reason I see right now is that if no one else is paying attention,
a mess in general.
There is right now. It is over the 75 percentile of those of the single digits all the way up into their teens where there's some form of abuse. If you're wondering what's going on with all this gender confusion garbage going on, that's the reason why.
Family is our first ministry. Angel says.
Oh my gosh, yes. If you look on things of history, I mean, what happened with Rome? I mean, people can say, well, they hired mercenaries. Well, yeah, because nobody was willing to fight and die for the country because they already destroyed the family. They didn't have nothing to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
The backbone
of
any... They
wouldn't let their soldiers get married.
Yeah, the backbone of any country is the family. The first and beginning structure, before there was a village, before there was a town, a city,
Angel says it's not in good shape. Some serious effort needs to be put in there before anything else. There in the home, in the family, before anything else.
Oh yeah, because the way it is, you got human. So you have human relations commissions, social services, where they subsidize single parent housing, and just that whole setup altogether.
Encourage immorality.
Encourage
don't
immorality.
Get married, just have more babies, get more money.
Which is all messed up.
Brandy says enemy equals confusion.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my gosh, yeah. Again, God has an order. If things are out of order, then it's not blessed. Remember what we spoke of Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first what? Jesus didn't say that to be poetic. He was telling us and giving us the keys of what we could bind on earth to be bound in heaven, loose on earth, what could be loosed in heaven. He was telling us, look, know how the kingdom of God runs. Know how it works. He says, and then he said, come into a place also. He says, and then seek him, seek the kingdom and all his righteousness. Literally meaning, hey, get in right standing with me and my Father. Get in right standing with us. Find out how we run things, how we govern things, and establish a relationship with us. And
all these things that
you've been wanting will come to you.
Yeah.
He makes it clear. And it's the same thing, like I said, about the whole issues of marriage and all. God's original design, his purpose for marriage.
Angel says, amen, Gary.
Yeah. His original purpose for marriage is to colonize the earth with the kingdom. And that's why, again, why was Abraham considered a friend of God? He taught his servants, he taught his children. It's imperative.
We are to raise up godly offspring.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it make a difference?
That's what marriage is. The primary purpose of bringing the man and wife together is to have children and for us to raise up godly offspring.
So God wants the doggone home to be successful.
Right.
And he knows that he does not want you, worried and dealing with, and there being all kinds of stress and issues of marital disharmony.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that garbage going on. He wants things to be fixed.
Brandy says, if you're not following God, who are you following?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta follow somebody. You gotta
serve somebody.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a song.
Yeah.
Blues song or something. Johnny Cash, maybe?
No, it's I know who it is.
Do you?
Yeah, but I can't think of his name right now. You gotta serve somebody. He's from California.
Go figure.
It's the hippie guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
I know what you're talking.
Yeah.
Doug Addison?
No.
Not him.
Way before his time.
Really?
Yeah. Don?
No.
I'm thinking Don something.
No, I don't think so.
Oops, we're showing. Anyway, we're not that old, I guess. That's what we're showing. Yeah.
Well, the main event is know what God's rules and law. Know what his laws, his principles are that govern things, specifically with the issues of marriage.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
True. The issue of marriage, understand that a lot of people think, well, it takes love to make marriage work. The truth of the matter is, the definition of what people say that love is, it's not the truth at all. If marriage was designed by God, then it takes God to be a part of that marriage to make it work. Any long-term relationship, everyone knows the 4 different things of love, right? You had the
4 different types of love.
I wish I had this thing working right.
Filio and
there's all different types, but one of the main type of love that is to be a part of that galvanizes marriage is God's love. Is agape. Having him as a part of that relationship, marriage, the covenant, he has to be part of it. Because otherwise, all the different issues and stuff, you hear people talk about crazy things where they say, well, we just fell out of love. That's not the truth. It's probably not that, well, shoot, probably nothing. That's not the truth at all. Because it is a choice. Those that have been married for a while, who have gone through some stages in your marriage, you know that it's not a matter of feeling. It ain't got anything to do with emotion. There's no truth to that whatsoever. It is a matter of commitment. It's a matter of choice.
And covenant.
Yeah, covenant. It's a matter of devotion. And it's not just to your spouse, but knowing that you have said something and God takes notice.
Mm-hmm.
And he has it written. He knows. That's why it's written the way it is in Scripture about, hey, husband, guess what? You know, if your wife's not too content with some things and you ain't been at peace with her, I'm not answering your prayer. You better get it together. I mean, talk about, you know, a little bit of extreme. God has kind of given us a hint through his servants there in the New Testament. This is my order. You want things to be blessed? You want things to work? Then make sure that she's at peace. I know how it works. Most men at some point in time in their lives, I talked a little bit about this in the beginning, the issue of a midlife crisis. All what it really comes down to is all of a sudden all the programming that we were given per our culture to what's supposed to be more important, all of a sudden it washes away. We realize that, wait a minute, I'm supposed to do more than a dollar sign. I'm supposed to do more than just this job.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else there. And it's like, yeah, there is something there. Before God made woman, God gave man what is called work, but work is not your job. If you look up the word work in the Hebrew, it actually refers to manifesting oneself. In other words, it's being who that you were made to be. The issues of the finances and all that goes with it, it's really wild. If you read what it says, like in Proverbs, it flat out tells you that it's not your education, it's not how many friends you got, but it is your gifting that takes you before those of notoriety and power. That's exactly what it says. Yeah. It's imperative that that a man discover the vision that God has for him and for his family, not just individually, but corporately. I know how it is. I mean, most of us as men, we see ourselves on the front. We see what it is that we need to do. And we forget.
Bob Dylan,
yeah, there you go.
Dustin Lloyd, yeah.
That's
who you got to serve somebody. There. Yeah. I knew if I thought about it long enough. Okay. I've been listening to you too. Yeah.
That's
interesting. With the other part of my brain.
How long have we been along here?
We're pretty.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we should.
Been here for a long time. Yeah, we should wrap it up. We're sorry.
Oh, but Elise just got here, so we'll go on for another.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
Oh, Elise, you'll have to watch the replay. But thanks for coming on.
Yeah, then we touched on an awful lot of stuff.
And Connie, thank you for coming, Connie.
I wish I could.
Have to watch our replay because we're at 43 minutes already.
Oh my gosh, we've been on here a while. We try to keep it about 20-30 minutes, guys. So there's so much to discuss. There's
Better
so much
late
to bring
than
up.
never. That's right, Elise.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Pray that the things that we shared with you, that it means something to you.
She can't wait to watch the replay.
That it sets up some things for you.
She's our number 2 fan. Maybe she's probably number. I don't know. I don't know if Jane's still here. Yeah, I'm playing with numbers. We have 2 fans. No, we got. Well, I think, it says we have 5 or 6 people here. 6.
Anyway,
6 people waited through this whole thing. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
I gotta close. Okay. All right. So here. Oh, you won't probably like that. You're not in a very funny mood tonight. So, Mr. Piggy won't close us tonight, but you could do the bleep, bleep, bleep. That's all, folks. No, I'm sorry. I am just in a mood today. I don't know. I think I'm happy.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. We do appreciate you coming on with us. You can find me and my blog at pennydouglas.com. And my name Penny has an EY. Look how it's so glitchy.
It looks like it's glitchy on our end.
pennydouglas.com, and on Facebook I'm Penny Marie. Twitter I'm Penny Marie. Instagram Penny Marie D for Douglas. and Periscope, Penny Marie D. Haven't been on Periscope in a little while, but I'm on Facebook a lot. And Gary is on Facebook too. Elise loves the dynamic between us. And Brandy says we're precious. See?
Yeah.
See? Somebody thinks I'm okay being funny. Somebody likes it that I'm funny, I think. Okay, so Bob Dylan. Yes, Vanessa, I knew you would know. Yeah. Yeah, we're fellow hippies. So anyway, yeah.
Okay.
He became a Christian, and he's like, you got to serve somebody. And a lot of people have kind of, anyway. We are going to be doing more in the future, marriage talks and family things, and Gary and our 4 sons are going to do a podcast. They've done a couple.
We're going to try. Yeah, we're going to
calling themselves 5 Guys and what is it? Their Crazy Lives.
Yeah,
5 Guys and Their Crazy Lives. They've been practicing and getting the sound right and everything, and in our little closet. Well, our closet's not really little, but when you get 5 big guys in it, it seems like the size shrinks. But and our clothes kind of take up some room in there too. But they're making it soundproof, and they're working on that, and it's going to be really neat. We have other projects in the works, and so please look for us to do things in the future. We really feel like God is calling us to more ministry, and we're just really excited about what God is doing in families. Yes. And we believe that God has a calling on families, and that we all as Christian couples and Christian families really need to step up and do what the Lord has called us to do, whatever He has created us and our particular family to do, and the individuals like that one back there to do. We really try to work with them to help them know and find out from the Lord what they're really called to do, what they're made to do, what they love to do, what their passion is. And that's part of our homeschooling and part of what we feel like the Lord would have us do. And the way we should homeschool them is according to their passion and what they're interested in, and help them to become all that He wants them to be. And so that's, I didn't go into homeschooling with that understanding, but we've learned that along the way, and we want to share that with other Christian families, and how special it is. It's been a wonderful way to run our family, to have the homeschooling. It's been a big part of our family dynamic and how we have done things, and the Lord has blessed us, and we appreciate all that He has done in our 10 kids. If you weren't here earlier, and if you don't know, we have 10 kids, and the oldest is 27 and the youngest is 9, and we just are really looking forward to all that the Lord is going to do in our family, in your families. And we want to encourage you that even if you do have some struggles, even if they're external struggles, if it's financial or losing a job or physical illness or whatever, God will bring you through anything and everything, just like He did for us. And He's brought us through a whole lot of things, but He's always been faithful. We can always count on Him. You can always count on Him. Keep your hope and your faith alive, and don't let anything steal your hope. We're up to 7 people watching as we're almost at 50 minutes now. So He loves my long closings. I'm like, okay, I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to bring out Mr. Piggy. Mr. Piggy says goodbye. So thank you all for joining, and we will see you next time. Love you guys. You hit the button. Bye.
Where's it?
It's down there in broadcast. The red. Oh, you can't see it because of all the books stacked there.